You know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm the same. They're watching me. Somebody's protecting me. Consciously, I know I've had no problems so far. I used to have a lot of flack from a lot of people online, but they've given up. They've given up throwing stones at me. So now I think it's been 8 years online, out there, and it's just become known what I'm doing or intending to do, which is out in the open. So that's the best way I can put it, because it's no good in my head. It's no good in my head. It's better out there, and then share with people the knowledge, and so they can get together ready for change, ready for the big change. And rather than shock them, is to drip it out a bit at a time, so that there's less of a shock and mutiny on the bounty, all right? Because the bounty's in this pound note on their head, okay? That's the way it's looking. It's out there, and they know what that is. They know how it's going to work. They know what's coming, and it's just a matter of that man and you, or that person that's offender, that to pull them into this court, pull them into the court, pull them into contract, that they can't get out of with the flag. They cannot answer, then it's default, right? It's automatic default. If they don't answer in a 21-day notice next week to this land block where that canoe is, that's our main canoe to the mountain, always a mountain. You got your rivers, your mountains. We go by mountains, and that's right around the area of the mountains in New Zealand. Mount Cook and Mount Taranaki and Mount Hikurangi are the main ancestral connections to our title, to the land. So we're joining that back where it was before it got tampered with. That word tampered with our contract with the king. That's all it is. The police tampered with the information, and anybody else that tampers gets the bill. £1 trillion on everyone's head. Each one's head is a trillion, because it'll bankrupt them, and the rest of the bill goes to the Queen and the Rothschilds and all the rest of them. That's where that's you have to stack it up, right? We just claim back their birth certificate. Now we don't use a birth certificate. We use the mobile phone number as an ID, right? That's a creditor. We just flick the money through the tag pay. It's foolproof money. I can give you £100,000 straight out under a minute, and that's how we do it. People who work for the Moai Crown and this organisation are party or members of this one world group of the King's common people in the common law sense, right? We're going back to the common law before they put all the other laws in. The common law was for the people of a king at the time. We're going to take the king out eventually, and the queens and everything, and discard them when we get the bank on side. Once we get the bank up, we start to take out the offender, alien, right? The alien off the land and their laws, and discard them and put our laws back in place, the spirit law back in, to conserve the land and preserve the land back into its pristine original form as much as possible. So that was the point of the exercise, that Moai follows those rules of law of the spirit. Like you have your interpretation and of the spirit. Me, I'm in the modern world. I keep up with the what's happening with the British side of my family and the Scottish and the Irish side of my family, to know what's going on over there from here. I'm not assuming. I'm making a clear indication of, hi, how are you?
My grandson.
Oh, your grandson. Hi. You look very native. Yeah. You look like the real natives as well. Yeah, that's good. Good to meet you.
Same bloodline from 5 generations back.
So those are very important. What we're doing is gluing them back together from fragments, and make a good model of one family and extend it out with your family, with us, my family. I'm gluing them back together because they're all poles apart. And they said, oh, you got a hole in your head, John. You know, you've been saying that for a long, long time. I says, well, so did Mandela say that for a long time, you know, and others who have battled away and got locked up for a long time. And just as well, I was only locked up for 4 or 5 days. I had to get locked up to make myself a victim, and to open their laws, open their laws. Yeah.
They kicked me around. Oh, they kicked me around.
Yeah. So that,
they will not break my spirit.
Yes.
No.
So that constitutes a bill of high proportions against throwing you around and throwing me around. In the Moai, they threw me out, grabbed the king's shirt and threw me out. And there's a complaint gone on against the police. I'm not going to change it because that chief didn't apologise to me. The others did. The others, the chiefs all apologised except the one that threw me out. So the other offence was locking me up with the king's shirt and taking the king's shirt. I left it. It's still locked up in prison. I mean, in the central police station as evidence that they mishandled the king. That's a big price. That's a big price. Same as you. That's a big price to do that against you. You put that bill of that value wherever you want, because in the end money is money and money makes things go around. So we use that instrument to recover what they did to us. They pay in their money, right? Yeah. They pay. They created this money. They pay in that money because we've got a right to build them in that money. See? Yeah. So that everything was there.
You mentioned the word threatened.
Yes.
What's threatening me?
Yeah, what's threatening you?
Yeah, what's happening? You got to remember Indian Act.
Yeah.
Way back, and it became a binding legislation in 1951.
Yeah.
It created elective system.
Yeah.
Right across my land, all of a sudden, everybody wants to become chief.
Yes.
Under Indian Act.
Right.
So they outnumber me. I'm outnumbered.
Yes.
But I'm telling them they cannot represent my people or anyone under Indian Act.
You were wise. You were wise not to go into contract. You were wise not to go into contract.
I'm telling them quit.
Quit the contract.
Enough. Yeah. But Indian Act, they pay these people good money.
Yes, that's what it is. Bribe. They bribe my people.
Little reserves.
They bribe.
How can you represent anyone in their little reserve from here, there, all over the place?
Now they herd them into yards like cattle, and that's how they treat you, like animal.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah. So
nobody can build one voice, one mind, as long as they're Indian Act and these little reserves all over the place.
Yeah.
Never.
So your threat at the moment is the oil drilling and the pipelines going across the country. How far are you from the Standing Rock?
I'm about 10 hours.
Is that in the American state or in the Canadian on the border?
Just across the border.
In the American state, eh?
American side, yeah.
Okay. So do you have oil problem? What I meant by threat is the environment, the chemtrails or the fracking or the oil. One of those are the biggest threat facing your country and your people, or just genocide, or vaccinations, or just stealing land. Those are the threats I'm talking about.
To make a long story short, I said Time Walker Society. Because we know exactly what's going to happen. Right from the day they step down this island, we know what their plans are.
Yeah.
And 2017, we know what their plans are, and we know what's going to happen. We know everything.
So what I'm saying is this: from date one, you have a timeline from the day the offences started, 1766 or whatever. They're using the currency at that time like they did here, the pound note. They used the pound note here before the other currencies came along, and it shows in the big books, thick books I got here behind my couch, the big books of the land confiscations and how much an acre was, 2 shillings and 6pence, that sort of thing, and why they confiscated the land, but the value, I'm looking at what value there is there as compared with what value it is now on the land itself, and then the resources, what the value of the oil was, and you can see it'll soon add up its value blanket. So I put a blanket right over the well of all the Crown's possessions and divided it into the country's mass land area, plus the shelf outside. They got a 200-mile zone or a 500-mile. I put a 500-mile zone around the country instead of a 200-mile zone, territorial waters and that added to the mass land size per population. So your whole population in the country is feeding off your land and its resources, natural resources. You take that figure and divide it for the difference between when they first came and the money they used to the money now, and you'll see the percentage of increase of value of the resources taken out and taken somewhere else and spun somewhere else. So that's what I took the figure of that and put it right across the whole world and came out with to divide that into what we have in the £1 and split the pound note down, right? You'll have a figure that our court accepts as being real in today's world, right? Not the old world. Today's commercial world has a value on what they have raked out of it, and they're answerable to that. All these CEOs of the corporate Crown, all the CEOs are liable one by one, according to motu proprio, one by one are liable for the damage. So it's the damage.
We know that.
Yeah. So
we know that. The treaty stands as is, 1876.
Yeah.
You know they can't break it.
So that's where you start from, the treaty itself, period. You timeline it of the difference on value of taking out of the land. It's what they've sucked out of the land, including the people, as a resource, as a commercial resource. And you put a figure on it and make an invoice on something to start with, to make you financial straight away. So when I do mine, I can do yours for your land, and you don't have to borrow money from this one to make that one work, because you do it yourself. Yeah. It's your law. It's your law to put a value on it. But yes.
Have you followed up on this residential school issue?
Yeah, I've been following that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the genocide that goes on.
I've seen that.
Genocide and atrocities.
Yes.
That's only part of it.
Yes.
Only part of it.
That's only part of it.
The crimes they commit against my people, there's 7 categories of high treason.
Yeah.
And John, that's 7 categories of high treason, and the 7th one is the World War, if they committed all the atrocities.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I've been telling people on this land, what they did against my people will shadow the Jewish Holocaust.
Yes, yes.
Jewish Holocaust is just a small, tiny one.
Yes, yes.
And what they did against my people will shadow everything.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. What they did and shot out your people is a bigger proportion than what they shot out of my people to get the land. To get to the land, they killed them.
Oh, they did everything bad.
Yeah.
They broke every law on the face of this planet. Like I told you before, all the armies of the world have been served, and they're bound to protect first world governments that were the last ones left.
Yeah. So that's what the Pope has got 190 armies from 190 countries backing him, and his money he's stolen. And that's
what does that mean?
Eh?
What about the Queen Elizabeth?
The Queen has got NATO and the 23 states, the 20 or so European Union states that makes up the NATO, and that's her. That's her army. That's her army that wants to shoot up the British. Okay, they want to take the British out. Yeah, because they want to get rid of Britain. The Queen has told Trump she's going to get rid of the federal state government of America. You know why? Because they've got all the gold, the money out of the place, and they're going to get rid of their evidence. That's known now. She's going to get rid of, and that's what Trump is doing. He's legislating the act to destroy the U.S. federal state government, because that's the Queen, because no more Queen. Okay? The Queen is no more. She's a private contractor. When she signed the Lisbon Treaty, she became a private contractor and not a queen as such on anybody's behalf. She don't bow to nobody anymore because she's out of it. She's using Admiralty as a... You can target her directly now because she's one of me and one of you, in a commercial sense.
He became a private contractor. What year would that be? About 15 years ago?
Yeah.
How many years has he been private contractor to Queen?
2009, after the Lisbon Treaty, when her and Gordon Brown signed the EU Parliament's Lisbon Treaty and took out the 7 treaties of Queen Victoria. Took those treaties out, and that's what Queen Victoria didn't want, to get rid of the 7 treaties and dumped them into the Lisbon Treaty, which became the EU Parliament. That's how the EU Parliament started. It's a remote floating government out in the middle of space. Okay? It has no territories of its own. It has no title to show who they are. It's just been created out of thin air, like the dollar, out of thin air. The fiat money. This is another fiat money. They're going to start using. The Queen is going to start cutting up that gold that she's claiming, our trust, in the Philippines. The bulk of the gold is there. When they blew up the New York Twin Towers, that gold went there. There was about 400 tons went out of there, Fort Knox, and went across. I'm assuming it went across because that's Karen Hudius's figure of that wealth. She exposed the gold, and she was trying to claim it. She was trying to claim it as the lawyer for Strutt, the guy called Strutt, the lawyer for the Filipino child of the King and Queen of Spain, Philippi. King Philippi is the new King of Spain. He's a young guy, and his wife is the Queen of Spain, are trying to claim all this fortune. And they are not trustees. What? I'm saying, don't touch it, Trump, because you're going to get this pound note on your head and a hanging rope. Right? I'm saying that to him directly on his page, on his Twitter. I'm saying, don't you go near that trust that belongs to us in contract with this flag. Do not touch it. And so I think he knows that we're after the whole lot. Right? One stock and barrel. That they are not, we are still beneficiaries here of that trust. We are still classed as infants in our state, as if we still need control. We're taking control of the infant state and going as the parent state of our trust, while the Queen is still alive. Okay? And then second, get her.
Yeah, I have a feeling one of his people is watching us.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's out. The Pandora's box is wide open. The Pandora's box.
The real landlord of this land.
Yeah, that's how it is. The native will take its native land and remove the mortgage. That's what we're doing. Remove the mortgage and the lien over the land. The clamp that is on the land is this flag. This pirate. They turned pirate out of a pirate flag, right? They became the pirate running the flag. And my Maori people couldn't see that. They just said, oh, we bow to the Queen. We come here, Queen, and walk around and make the red carpet and do the haka for her. They said, welcome, 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 welcome. And then they said, oh, the Queen won't go in our marae and come and sleep with us because she should come and meet us. She's never met us. She's never walked inside Te marae with us. She's always gone somewhere else because we her Maori people, right? We are her Maori people. And that's her tribe. She created the Maori word and the Maori tribe through this government here that created Maori as a fictitious name of a tribe, that thin air tribe. And we are not Maori because that belongs to the Crown. It's a patent name, and the iwi patent name belongs to the Crown. So they can do anything with us. They can do anything with us so long as they got that patent. See, so the Maori think, oh, we're Maori because the treaty said they're Maoris. And so I'm telling them, no, the treaty got no end date, its contract is no good. And they can do anything they like with it because you're not doing anything about it. You know, if you're ignorant, they give them the consent to be ignorant as well. See? So the ignorance wins, outright. And it's no skin off their nose. They can just keep doing it. They just keep doing it, walk onto the marae, they welcome them into the marae, which gives them consent. Right? I said, don't let them in. So the chief said, no more John Key, don't come in the marae. So it cut them right off then. That's when I moved in to take the other marae. There's two maraes. The other one that they use is their one. and did it while they weren't looking. Right? Too late now. It's too late. Everybody knows. It's become known that they have no queen, no head above the queen, above the judge. The queen is there. It's only a picture. There's no queen here. The seal of the Westminster is not there. They're just going on the whim as if everybody thinks, oh, that's a court with a queen, and oh, the judge is got his right because you have a queen there. Is who says, she says one bag full, is whatever they say, it says, well, that's what it says on this paper. The law says this. I'm saying, the law says this on this paper. This is the law. And I can't see anything in your law that fits this law. So they can't say anything. See? You said, my law is higher than yours. It looks like yours, sounds like yours, is yours. Right? So that's what I've done, matching them with a bit of skill and a bit of common sense, logic, and a bit of ingenuity. Just put it to skill, and it's working.
They earned the right not to be trusted a little bit, eh?
Yeah, well, the trust is to make them be dishonest in front of people.
Not turn them out a
little bit. A little bit. Tell them you're guilty until you can prove to them.
How many armies is it? The Pope, how many armies is it?
Yeah. I'll give you 21 days to tell me you're honest. If you're guilty, I'll tell you you're guilty. Because if you don't say, everybody knows you're a crook. Yeah, see, that's how you do it.
A little bit not to be trusted, I think.
So it's better to knock the beast while he's standing with nothing. Right? He's just bluffing. He's bluffing. He's blind man bluff, blind trust. You heard of that one? Blind trust. That's what John Key was using in his Panama Papers for avoiding tax. They're getting caught out now. Donald Trump and them, they're all getting caught out for not paying tax. You see? So the tax man will get them, but guess what? Where were the British to make them pay the tax? See? So
blind trust.
Yeah, blind trust. Yeah, very blind. Very blind, but you know, at least you got glasses to see.
You know, John, the old people had no education.
Yeah.
The people who designed the street, they had no education.
Yeah.
And they didn't speak English.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And they used to tell me, in the future you will think the white man is smart.
Yeah.
Technology, everything, you know? You think he's going to be smart.
Yeah.
But I tell you one thing they said. If he was smart, he would never try what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
If he was smart, he'd never try it.
Yes.
Never.
Yeah.
So that they created their own problem.
Yeah.
Not mine, not yours.
Yeah. So
that's their problem.
So I'm trying to turn them into us and us into them. So and force them into it. You know, force them. In, I'm forcing them into a contract they can't get out of.
Yeah.
The same way as, but the flag does it. They have no flag. No flag to do it. You see, so they're trapped. They're trapped in a house of dominoes.
Yeah.
That's why I say you see the fanfare happen, but be prepared because you get your bill in first. Right?
Yeah.
Put your invoice in, and put it into that company, and then they record it. It costs about $9 a week, a month, $9 a month at ANEX to invoice. So long as you got a British invoice, it'll go through the system. I'm just saying that's what I'll do with your bill. Anyway, I'll pick up the bill, but the best thing to do is register with them, and then it's locked in the system to pay up through this flag, all right? You just get your flag ready, get yourself as if you own the place. That's what I do. I make out that I own the bloody place, all right? And then it becomes real.
Sending a flag, right?
Eh?
You were sending a flag to Raymond?
They got one already. I think they bought one from here. It's about $90 for the big one.
Oh yeah.
90 US New Zealand dollars. It's only 50 US dollars.
Yeah.
For the big flag.
We were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah. Well,
we were talking about that yesterday. And what he figures, what's his name, Johnny, that young guy you communicate with once in a while, Johnny.
Faithful or something.
No, Raymond's friend there, that Johnny guy.
Oh, Johnny, just forget offhand. Yeah. So one of them got the flag. One of them bought the flag.
Johnny Likes.
Yeah, I think he's the one that bought the flag. Yeah. But it's good you have... Eh?
Yeah, he did something. He's under investigation, that young guy. You can't deal with young fellas like that.
No.
Yeah.
They'll try anything, but I hope he hasn't got the flag, because it'll get him in trouble.
There's a problem there right now.
Yeah, no, that'll set up a problem with that, but they know the flag anyway, that it's in the wrong hands. Okay?
Yeah.
It's in
well, Johnny Likes, he's just a young kid, eh?
Yeah.
He's just a young kid.
Johnny Likes.
And he's trying to take the credit of our connection.
Yeah, well...
He wants money.
It backfires.
Well, you're on YouTube, that's how we found you.
Yeah.
Anybody could have done that.
Anybody can buy any flag. The Chinese are spinning them out already. They make them, you can buy a Chinese flag with this flag. You can buy heaps of them, and big ones from the Chinese for half the price. Right? Yeah. But not a good material, but it does the trick. But if anybody is using it in the wrong way, the government there already knows where it comes from. Yeah. They already know where it comes from because it's been around long enough. And King George III is the one that started up the US anyway. So that's the father of this lot that got this going. So King George went into Africa and East India and set that lot up. So it still went to America, then here. In that order, way before the East India is what this flag is. Coming from the original of that native title first went to there, and then went to America and then here. So I'm just saying, the flag is well known that it comes from here, and all the countries, even Russia's waiting for us. We've got a pact agreement with Russia to in the Confederation of Chiefs. That comes under the 1835, not the 1834. 1835 mixed up with the crown here on the 1840 treaty. It's on the wrong side.
Yeah. So let me ask you, with relevance to this flag here, anybody who gets a flag, you have to give consent, or anybody can get it? Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it.
It's for sale anywhere in the world. The Chinese are making them and selling them anyway, cheap.
Well, but why would the Chinese have that?
Because they make money out of it from people who buy it in any country as a souvenir or as an up-and-coming force. If they know
if they got the flag, would they have that admiralty power to enforce?
No, it's been taken out. They legislated it out here in 1840. But this one here, they can't touch the British side of the flag. The 1834 is the British title to this country, and the 1835 is a Declaration of Independence from New South Wales, Australia, and that created the 1840 treaty from the 1835 part of the same flag in a different jurisdiction, right, of Admiral, Vice Admiral, that became Vice Admiral. So, so anybody buying the flag will buy it on the 1835 side, not the 1834 side.
Oh, I see.
The 1834 has jurisdiction over the world, right? The 1834, but they wouldn't know that. They wouldn't know how to apply that, or they wouldn't know from just buying a flag. Anybody can go and buy a flag, but when you start doing documents with it, that's when it becomes illegal or legal. When it's
tell me, John, the state of emergency flag. What does that mean?
That means that when a federal state government, like what we're doing here with Sue Nakora, the president, when a state of emergency is declared, then the cordon off area of investigation or seizure of like say Auckland, the whole super city area of Auckland, we throw a cordon around and put guards or military around it. That's what they normally do in America. They'll surround the Bundy farm, right? They put a cordon right around the Bundy farm. That was an example. And they wanted it, and they sold it to the Russians for its nuclear power in there. That's what they're going through now as who had the right to sell it, right?
Yeah.
Now that became a state of emergency when the military moved in to seize it and put it into the federal state from whatever state it was in that county. Okay, so that government chewed up the other government and its council. Okay. It went right over the top of it and impressed their own military. The federal state the Queen has its own military over the local police. Okay, they come in with their NATO. NATO it belongs to the Pope. The Queen hires him and NATO. I mean not NATO, UN force. The UN force comes in and moves over with their military over that military, right? So they contract the UN, not the NATO, the UN forces is the Vatican's army to come in and seize Bundy Ranch into that jurisdiction over the different republics through the states. The federal state can go and take the lot. They can just go right over that state government or Commonwealth government and take it over. They'll take it over. Because they'll create a war situation or a financial crisis of unruly demonstrations. They set up the demonstration. They set fire to a place and bomb a place. So they blame ISIS, and so that sets up this declaration of war flag to come in and seize the whole place back into the higher government of federal, the Queen, and she seizes the whole lot. Then uses her law to capture what now becomes her property.
Yeah.
Right? But she owns the whole place anyway. She owns America. But when another state uses its own laws, she'll just go and overpower them with this flag. Not King George III, King William IV, and King William III to take the revenue for herself. Right? So she uses her Queen's Bench Court seal of a paddle against this horse and a ship of Admiralty, a real ship of Admiralty. She uses a paddle, the same as Australia uses a flipping paddle, and New Zealand uses a paddle as their Supreme Court. Supreme Court to overrule the other courts. Right? You go to appeal court, you go to the Supreme Court and spend your money and run out of it. Going to court to court to court, to high court to high court. So we just shortcut all that lot and go into the native court. You don't have to go through all that process. You just chop them right off. Chop them right off and waste the money going to the high court and the district court. We go into the district court because it's local and it's got all the documents to seize the land and its certificates in that court. Right? That's why we hire the court and then we bill them the land underneath them if they don't comply, right? We'll seize the land if they don't comply. That's what I'm doing with the bank in Auckland, the ANZ Bank. If they don't give me a $10 million overdraft, I'll take the land underneath them. then they were in trouble, right?
So tell me, the Pope,
Mm-hmm.
lots of jurisdictional issues that he dealt with. You told me he disbanded the UCC.
Yes, yes. All the laws, acts, destroyed. He destroyed it. Eh?
How many years ago? How many years ago?
Oh, that's 2008, 2009, when they ratified it.
No.
Yeah, 2009, and 2013 was when the motu proprio kicked in. 2013, that you read it up. That's when it passed its state of what do you call it? Its grace date, grace time, 2 years. I think it took to come into force. So from I think the 2013, that's when the law was not to be used anymore, because he said this: there's too much corruption in the world. That's what his excuse was. I need to take the laws away.
I heard that.
We created the laws, and now there's too much corruption, so we have to take these laws away from you, so you don't do it anymore. So you don't do it anymore. So that's when I pounced.
He's going to correct the mistakes, eh?
Yeah.
He's going to right the wrongs.
Yeah, he's going to right the wrongs of what he did wrong.
That's what Brian Mulrooney did back in 1992 here.
Yeah.
Hey, we're sorry we stole your land, people, Indian people, little Indians. We're sorry we stole your land.
He's really,
Here's $400 million to you, sign it here,
and
you buy it back.
Buy it back. So the Pope is virtually saying, oh, these other people did the fraud, and so we're signing our laws that created the fraud, and so we've got our cut, but we're not going to tell you about that. We've buried it underneath the Vatican, so you can't come into our government because it's private, and it's Admiralty private. We borrowed the Arab Admiralty, we borrowed it from the King because he was born in Rome, and we claim him because he was born in Rome, but we don't worry about anybody else because England discarded him. His father said, I disown you and your post as a bishop in Ireland, so I'm going to take your title off you as a Bishop of Ireland. So then the Vatican grabbed him. That's why they're fighting over the green little man, right? The green little Irish man. They're fighting over him, and we've got him on our flag, right? Right? You see? He's on our flag. He's on our flag. That's what they used in Westminster to pick the rent up, the chief's ground rent. That they used well, his father was responsible to pick the rent and the rates up off the land. Okay. So he wanted his son. He wanted his son to take it. Yeah. So
up in the States in North Dakota, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, that's our land, they said.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Because the piece of paper says it's their land. That's all. It says on this paper. So you write yours and say the land belongs to the chiefs. Now that's what I said. The proclamation I made was the land belongs to the chiefs and not the King and Queen of England or the King of Spain or the Queen of Spain. That's all the proclamation was. And then you're writ.
So the Squashquack Indian tribe steps in there, can stop it.
Yeah.
Because those people, they don't have no identity.
Yeah.
They don't even know how they don't even know they have their own citizenship.
Yeah.
Everything
is ship. Citizenship, partnership, comradeship, everything is a ship. Right?
Yeah.
In the words. Yeah. But they all what happened was this. With my people, they took the flag but left the court behind, the native court behind. They didn't realise the native court to the British. They went after the New South Wales government bribe, right? They followed the New South Wales bribe and left the British court behind in Russell, right? In Russell, Kororareka, Russell, and I bought the court, native court, and put it on the chief's land beside his memorials in a tent. So the tent became the highest court in the world, right? The tent became the highest court in the world in front of the tent.
That's the one in Brussels, eh?
Eh? Yeah, eh?
Not the one in Brussels?
No, the highest court in the world is our tent beside the native chief's flag and their memorial totem poles, the poles, with their ancestors, memorials. I put the big tent beside that and put the table there and the chairs and sat down the chiefs. The only chiefs that came were 4 of them. All the rest went the other way and stayed with the Queen, that side of these memorial totem poles. And this side was the king, that side is the Queen. Debtors, levy on the side. And that's how the native court started. And now that side has accepted this, but they don't know how to handle that side into this.
That's the World Court in Geneva.
Yeah, that's the World Court. That belongs to King William III and King William IV. That's the Dutch land owners, right? That's why the Queen's gone and hide underneath him. In
which country is that?
Brussels, Geneva.
Brussels. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Brussels. So that's where the main court is, World Court in Brussels.
Yeah.
Geneva.
Yeah.
So they've
Geneva,
got,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the World Court. That's our King's Court. That's our court. That's our native court. But we've got yours too. Yeah. All the native people are subjected to what they did with a blueprint native title here. Okay.
Yeah.
All the native countries were taken out with this little country and hidden nicely here.
Yeah. So that World Court, is it portable?
Is it what?
Bring it over here.
No, we don't have to. We just put our own up. It's just as equal or better than that court. A native court on its own is better than that court. That's for them.
So, can you make a presentation there for us?
Yeah. I do a presentation. That's why the tent was stronger than that World Court.
Yeah.
It's stronger because it's got native content in its words. It's our words, not their words. It's our words. I write my own fashion of English language and the laws of those 2 kings on those year periods that I told you. I'm only using those laws. No laws after that, no laws before. That was the only time they were consolidated into this flag to go around the world. Okay? All the wealth was consolidated through King William III and King William IV from 1650 to 1837 when King William IV died. That period of time was the only time they consolidated gold, consolidated all the laws, reformed the Acts of Westminster Parliament, and after that they took out the Hanging in Chains Act, and that was Queen Victoria. Took out all the acts so you couldn't hang them. We can hang them with those laws. We can do what we like with them, with those laws and this flag. They are helpless. We don't have to go to the World Court. Ours cost nothing to go in this tent. That tent, they suddenly realised here, my Maori people suddenly realised the tent was higher power than anybody in the world with this flag. In its full form with a flag and a native court with some chiefs sitting in there. That's all I did. I brought them only chiefs into the court, sat them down, make them sign, stamp it with the JP, Justice of the Peace, in the Queen's Crown Court to change the title. I do the real estate bit as a real estate agent, change the freehold title back into the customary title. He stamps it over from the Queen to the King in that native court, in that tent, which was more power than any other law on this planet Earth, a man's law. Okay? This man's law is higher than, I'm making these statements online in front of the whole world, that, no, I say, if you have anything to say it in the video to me, otherwise that's the law. Right? What the King says goes. We have the right to talk for the King when he's absent. He's away on holiday. Yeah. He's away on holiday, and I'm following him.
Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, I want corporate Canada, United States Canada, must cease and desist from committing the crime of high treason on my land.
Yeah, so that's...
They have to quit.
Yeah, so you have to write it up in your bill that just a form of an account of a first payment against them, and then the rest will follow after that. You just chip one bit off at a time. Don't take the whole lot out. Just take one bit, and then the rest will follow, because you don't want to spook them, because they'll have a mutiny on you. And being wise not to bite too much off. Okay?
Yeah.
We're biting enough off just to start the process off legally on two people, you and me, and that's better than a crowd. That's what I'm saying. I'm better to talk.
I read you, yeah. So can you text me the address of that invoice?
Yeah, I will. Annex.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll do that now, and I'll let you go with your family, and I'll continue with my day. It's too hot in here. I've got to put the fan on and go and get some air outside because it's sweltering.
Just calling in the washroom.
Yeah. I put the fan on. I forgot to put the fan on to cool me down, but it's been nice to talk to you, Harvey. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it, and we'll take it further from here. And with the whole world watching is a good thing because they'll know exactly what this means.
So how warm is it over there?
It's about 27 degrees here now.
Hot.
It's when you go outside, there's a chill in the air from the mountains. Got snow on it. We've got 4 weathers in one here. 4 weathers in one.
Very cold here right now.
Yeah, no, it's very
cold over here.
It's really t-shirt weather, and people are swimming in this sort of weather to jump into the cold water if it's cold.
Yeah.
But normally the sea is warm. Sea is warm. I'm going to do some diving this weekend when I go down the line, but I'm just going to sort that bit out, and that's the last bit of the puzzle. That is the last bit of the puzzle that will make all the difference, and it's good. You're first up, best dressed, because I've never talked to anybody else yet at this level. We're talking at this level, at the top end. Yeah, no mucking around.
Okay.
No mucking around.
All right, you met the real people.
Yeah, the real people.
Stock people, yes.
It's like a magnet, right?
We're not phonies. We don't hide. We've got nothing to hide.
No, that's right. It's not worth hiding things because they'll find it anyway.
No,
they're looking with their spy eyes anyway.
Yeah. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing it for my people.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. The same here. I want to pull everybody. The way to get the numbers is to go membership in what we're recovering and make them beneficiaries of all of that, or members. Yeah. And that's what it's going to be like. But like I'm saying, I'm changing the structure of the shares so that the tidal energy will kick in, and the products we have are the tidal energy jet fuel and refrigeration, packaging, all those parts, and it's an easy job to put that together and contract all the work out. But that's one source of revenue. The other one is the fraud claims that splits out into the membership, and also there are other things as well.
Okay. Well, we covered a lot of miles here.
Yep, we have, certainly have. But I'm glad I shared that with you. That woman in Canada was what's her name? Jean O'Dean. I don't know if you heard about Jean O'Dean. Jean O'Dean. If you look her up, Jean O'Dean, she's on Skype. She was working with me. She's a Canadian lady, very professional. And she came here because she knew what was going to happen over there, and spent a lot of time with me here. So she's wants to come back here with the people here, the natives. She knew what was going on here, and she's followed me for a long time. But had to return to Canada because...
Where's he from?
Eh?
Where's he from?
Canada.
Which province?
I'm not sure. I just forgot which province.
Oh, yeah.
But she's on Skype. She's on Skype now.
Yeah.
And you can talk to her. But she knows what's going on here with the Catholic Church. She videoed. She did all the documentaries here with me. They're on YouTube. I took her to the Catholic Church and the Church of England, St. Mary's, and told her the story of that, and also of One Tree Hill and the titles that the Crown here has done, which affected Canada at the same time. So she's working like with you and the spirit people. She's very good.
Yeah.
If you get contact with them, then that'll pick up from her again. She'll tell her all about me and her involvement here with my Maori people.
Yeah.
My Maori people were blind and they didn't quite get it.
Well, you know the hereditary law anyways. It's got to be from the male side.
Yeah.
Force that off.
The male side, that's the one.
Yeah, male side. It's got to be exact.
Yeah. Now, well,
we were given that. We were given that law for the man to uphold the law and enforce the law.
So all the statues on East Island are male. There's no female statue. They were all male, and the English law male dominates on the king's side, and when I went to the Queen, that's when I went all pear shaped and gone to hell. Yeah. It went to hell after that. So that's really all I had to say for now. There's plenty to say, but we can save some for another day.
Yeah, sure.
When you get into the economic side of things, that's another picture I'll share with you at another stage.
I'm going to share something with you.
Yeah.
The Great Spirit's law, the Spirit law, and the brown back is how the old people described it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That brown back is the money.
Okay, yeah.
Nature's law.
Yeah, nature's law. Okay.
That brown back is trying to do this to our law.
Yes, yes.
It's trying right now.
Yeah, okay.
You will not be allowed to do that.
Right.
This one cannot supersede this one.
Right.
This first creation.
Yes, yes,
That's my law.
Yes.
That's my law.
Yeah, I can see that. But
this one, brown back is trying to do this to it. He's trying to subjugate it.
Yes.
Trying to enforce that first one world law.
Yeah, that's that's the Vatican trying to steal some more.
Rothschilds, you name it, money.
Yeah, money.
And what connected with money, he's trying to do this to the Great Spirit's law.
Yeah, they're trying to prize it up and
they're trying.
Yeah.
They're not going to be allowed to do that.
Yeah, yes. That's good. If you can hold them off, all the better, because yeah.
They're even now, see?
Yeah.
He's trying to do this to it.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it.
He's too solid, eh? He's like a rock, solid.
Yeah, yeah. You can't break it.
Yeah.
How can you break first creation?
Yes.
You can't do it. No.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Yeah. This one is law.
Yeah.
This one is built on, it's built like a paper, right?
Yeah. It disappears.